And I have another friend, Matt O'Connor, who's in the TV show Wicked Offer. And he did a great job as a wicked lawyer who would offer you money to do certain things. And now he's shooting something. Explain this to me.
So he's shooting a documentary. He's went to the Republican National Convention, and he's shooting a documentary. And it's mostly about, well, he's trying to get interviews with people, delegates, celebrities, like whoever's there, but also normal people. He's posing as Nigel St. Regis, a British documentarian that is interested in what's going on with our country and how Trump can get elected and why you would want Trump to be president. So it's not only is he at the convention, but he's there to see why so many people have jumped on board this nonsense.
Our next guest is a Kansas City native and graduate of the UMKC School of Law who has built a name for himself as one of the top trial lawyers in the region and has been recognized as one of the top 100 trial lawyers in the country. He's appeared on Fox News, Court TV, and The Dr. Phil Show, as well as on the CW reality series, A Wicked Offer. And today, he's calling us from the Republican National Convention in Cleveland. Please welcome longtime friend of the show, Matt O'Connor.
Morning, Johnny.
What have you got yourself into, my friend? This is fantastic.
Well, I just want to say at the outset, because my son is listening, not to worry, because the reports of tear gas and riots and the other things are really exaggerated, and that's just because there was a misunderstanding. I hosted a Little People for Rubio party last night, and things got out of hand, and I'm sorry I was running a little late. I got into an argument with the front desk because, we had a deal that they had to put plastic sheets over everything in my room anyway, so that was sorted out. I'm in Cleveland, and it's a beautiful town. It's an interesting process, to say the least.
Well, everybody's watching to see, will there be a, it's getting to that point where it's the twists and turns and the loyalties made and the backdoor deals. It's like hillbilly Shakespeare, man.
Well, everybody was wondering who he's going to pick as his running mate, and I actually picked it because when I was I have kind of a Rorschach test that I use when I interview people, and their pictures, and a lot of them are like, our Senate Majority Leader that people don't know who that is. And the guy that I knew was going to be Trump's running mate was an obvious one, and that's Pence, because it wouldn't be Gingrich, because there's no way you can get those two egos in the same room. But it's been a fun process. So basically, I pose as Nigel St. Regis because, frankly, we're all British expatriates in this whole build the wall thing. So that's where this whole thing started. And I've also found that people who are willing to talk to someone who is not from this country about this country, it's kind of a strange American phenomenon.
So you've decided, you've taken on this persona, Nigel St. Regis, by the way.
Right, Nigel St. Regis, right. Yeah, and the reason we chose St. Regis is because Regis means king, and that's really what we're doing. We're like crowning, Mr. Trump. Because really, it's an amazing issue in the history of the United States. When can you think of it that like a white billionaire became like a nominee for president? It's really like a riches to riches story. And it's really amazing. And what else is really, I don't know where, but someone who has the red, white, and blue cowboy hat vendor license is making $1 million. It's everywhere. I don't really.
This is going to be fun. So so you're interviewing them, and you're kind of you're just seeing who knows what, and it's more of just an expose of like, you believe in this with all your heart. You would fight for it. You're screaming at people. You're arguing about why he is the guy that should run this incredible country of ours. But sometimes when you get down to it, you start really asking questions. You realize, hey man, you don't know a goddamn thing about this.
Well, yeah, and you ask the people that, like, what does he stand for? And really, all of us should ask that. And I really am trying to take a very objective look. But I got to tell you, last night when I came into Cleveland, and I've been to Cleveland before, and it really is a beautiful town. And I know that sounds weird, but it is. And I'm driving through Cleveland, and, I'm not particularly comfortable around cops anyway, and I have a good bacon sense. Right. When I get into Cleveland last night, it is like, I feel like I'm in the middle of a Jimmy Dean sausage frying pan. They're everywhere.
2,500 extra. 2,500 extra law enforcement.
Yeah, this is like 11:30 at night, and then there's National Guardsmen there. And I understand why. It's a security risk, but there's an element of really creepy as well.
And now the protesters. How are the anti-Trump protesters?
Well, they're cording off a section where they're allowed to protest. Which is, that's that balancing of the First Amendment. So basically, you go stand over here, yell and scream, and then you get your First Amendment right. The funniest thing is they have this RNC tip line, and I really have been tempted to do it, but I have to be careful because I'm afraid I'm going to wake up and Gitmo being waterboarded.
No, they find you out. You're going to go out the hard way.
Yeah, exactly. But this RNC tip line says if you see anything suspicious, call the RNC tip line. I want to go, hey, there's this guy who's got this orange and white makeup on, this big swath of blonde hair that's flying around. He's running around saying these ridiculous things. You really ought to look into it. Oh, wait, that's your nominee.
You should just keep reporting stuff or report yourself at the end. I think that's your natural ending.
Yeah, it is. But, people, it's interesting. A lot of your hardcore Republicans are not coming to the convention
because they don't believe in him. He's divided the party. Like the old school party, people loved. I mean, they had their power, right? This is how it works. You become beholden to us. We give you the key. You will go forward and be a figurehead. But you're going to do. You owe us all. You owe all of us. And we need to get richer.
And, that's really the conflict in me because I believe our country is due for an overhaul. And I think it's hilarious that they made him sign a pledge that he would support the nominee. And now that's backfiring on them.
Right.
And I love this country. I know you do too. I think really what's happening, the average voter turnout for registered voters in the last election was like 54%. 45% of Americans consider themselves independents. But yet, when push comes to shove, it's kind of like 3 a.m. closing time. You take the safe bet who you're going to go home with, Nobody swings for the fence on the candidate they really love. Our country tends to vote for the candidate that we dislike the least. And I think in this election more than any. In this election, it's who you hate the least. And that's really sad.
No, because you're right. I think she's a lifetime politician. Of course she's corrupt. And then I don't know if the word corrupt applies to Trump because he's a little more frightening in his own way. I don't think he's beholden to anybody. I don't think he has to lick the boot of the Koch brothers.
Things here are a little bit, they're going to be a little bit tense. So, I've got to keep eyes in the back of my head.
How did you get credentials? By the way, if you're just joining the show, Matt O'Connor from the O'Connor Law Firm here. We've known each other 25 years. Before you went to school, before you became one of the best trial lawyers in the United States. And you had a Wicked offer. It's a field television show that was fantastic. And now you're shooting this. How do you end up with these credentials for the Republican National Convention as Nigel St. Regis, a British documentarian?
Well, I got ways of, doing things, and I'm a persistent fellow. But, really, I was talking to a friend of mine last night, and me being at the Republican National Convention may be the fourth sign of the fourth horseman of the apocalypse.
It is, absolutely. It's over.
I mean, it is sort of, it's surreal, that I'm here. And really, it was a matter of a couple of connections and a little bit of extortion.
What's good for you? What is what's the security like? What's it like getting in and out of there? Like as media, do they corral you in a certain area where they only feed you what they want, or are you allowed free range to roam about and speak at will?
No, they let you wander about in a controlled area, really, but everything here is spoon-fed, and what they really want you to do is follow their Twitter leads and that kind of stuff like that.
Sure.
I've wandered off on my own. What I really want, I don't want to talk to the talking heads for the Trump campaign.
Yeah. Well, how about Chachi tonight? Scott Baio's there. Are you going to be able to interview Scott?
I don't care about interview. I just want to party with him.
Oh my God! Can you imagine with that hotel room?
I think Ralph's mouth was in my room, and that's why we're missing a goat.
But Chachi, imagine you've got Chachi, Scott Baio. It would be hard. Was Glazier already booked this weekend? Like, it would be hard. Because normally he's appearing at a truck stop somewhere. Come meet Chachi from Happy Days.
And it's like, So, Scott, what exactly about Donald Trump made you think that if he was elected, it would be happy day?
Is it Sunday? Monday?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Did your t-shirts come like that, or did you have to cut them specifically to be almond? I mean, you really are like the inventor of the wine pizza. You know, it's all about that.
Oh, or the bandana around the ankle. That's a show of solidarity.
Yeah, could you tell us about Aaron Duran's like proclivities, if you know what I mean?
Dude, it's just so crazy. I love this. I can't wait to see what you get. Any audio you get, anything you really love, and that you can share with us.
I will. Absolutely, absolutely, and I will get some more traction today. A lot of with all of the extra security and now the changing of where the protesters are going to be, I really want to interview the everyday average American who is here as a delegate, who's not an uber power figure, because really that's what our country is about. And talking to people, and I drove here and did interviews along the way. In fact, last night at the hotel, I was talking to this really nice lady about why she was a Trump supporter, and she said the problems in this country are heroin, the Muslims, and that we need a wall, and that was going to help it. And asking people questions, I press people, but I'm trying not to be rude. I'm glad that people have opinions.
Sure, but I'm just like, so if we got rid of all that, we'd be cool, huh?
Well, I'm trying to figure out how building the wall has anything to do with religion, and I'm also tired of
all religions about building a wall.
Yeah, and I'm tired of all Americans like categorizing one religion or another. I mean, the Crusades were not exactly a happy, fun time, and the Inquisition was not known for its friendliness. So to cast the whole religious sect as being violent is part of our problem, and it's probably not a good PR idea to do that if we're going to keep trying to make peace in the world. But the heroin problem and building the wall, I'm not sure how that connection exists. And having spent time throughout Ohio, when I did the TV show Dayton, Ohio, I mean, there's a town that is just, how Kansas City was well, you're not quite as old as I am, but like the late 70s, early 80s, it was like a ghost town. And Dayton has the same problem. They lost their GM plant, and there's a huge heroin problem there. And it's just sad. And there's no industry, and nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about the brain drain that we have in this country, where we're importing Pakistani and Indian scientists and tech people because we don't have enough science and tech people.
No, listen, we've had it too good for too long. We are ripe for an ass kicking. We really are. We are truly ripe for an ass kicking. We're filled with elitists and people with a sense of entitlement. People, we now have huge brains and skinny necks, fat wallets, and no character. And we forgot about the guys who built the streets, or the guys who made it happen, the people who built the buildings, the electricity that you need to work on your little computers and your iPads and your air-conditioned offices. We've forgotten. We are ripe for an ass kicking because we don't remember how to be hard anymore.
And really, I think that's what Trump tapped into, and I really wish there was a different candidate. But, if we thought of this earlier, we could have run Jake for president.
But yeah, this Pat has money and a big house, and you're a lawyer, and everything's, all you gotta do is just play the game, man. I hate that bastard on the other side, so I'm gonna go ruin his life. And Matt will do it. Like, he's that guy, man.
I just laughing off the air talking to him, like when I first talked to him, I'm like, what's it like down there? Is it crazy? And whatever. And he's like, there's just so many cops. There's just so many cops. He just kept saying it. It was so good. There's so many cops.
Yeah, poor Matt. He's got those terrible skunks that follow him around. They're weird, man. They're almost invisible. You smell them, but you never quite see them. But he is that guy. He can't. When the moment comes, you should just. He cannot. And the worst part is, he knows the system. So he knows exactly the buttons to push to stay just one half step out of jail while he's doing it. I'm telling you, it'll be on before 4 days is up. Something brutal is going to happen with him.
Yeah. Well, I pushed him a little bit about credentials and how he is, where he is. He's like, let's not ask all those questions.
Yeah, we're not in a courtroom. Extortion is such an ugly word. So, and he's just like, what could go wrong? The choices are so incredible this year. People, get out there and vote. And he's right. You are voting for the person you hate the least.